and welcome to my kitchen. Today, in honor of St. Patrick's Day coming up, we're going to be making some chocolate chip mint cookies. These cookies are really yummy, really soft, and really easy to make. I do not have any St. Patty's Day shirts and gear, so I'm just wearing one of the green shirts that I had, which is my Zelda shirt for the Triforce. So for this recipe, what we're going to need is 1 cup of softened butter, 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, which I've already put together to cream. You need 2 eggs and 1 egg yolk. You're gonna need some peppermint extract, some green food coloring, 12 ounces of chocolate chips. So for the dry ingredients, which I already got in my bowl, is 3 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. You wanna level those measuring cups off before you dump it in here. You need 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Go ahead and put that all together and mix it up. These are our dry ingredients. The first thing we're gonna do is start creaming together our butter and our sugar. So I'm just gonna use my hand mixer right here to start creaming together this butter and sugar. And you wanna cream it together until it's light and fluffy. Is light and fluffy. And now we're gonna add in our eggs. And we're gonna mix those up. And while we're in the process of mixing this up, we're just gonna go ahead and add in our mint extract. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in 1.5 teaspoonfuls. You can add in as much or as little as you want, just depending on how much mint you want your cookies to be. I noticed when I last made these cookies and just used 1, it wasn't quite the mint pop I wanted. And so now we're just gonna mix this up really good. All right, from here we're gonna add in our food coloring. You can make them as light or as dark green as you want. I'm gonna probably use about 15 drops of food coloring and see. I don't want mine too dark, but I don't want them terribly light either. Oh yeah, that's a pretty green. That's a really nice green. All right. So now that we've got our wet ingredients, we're gonna add in our dry ingredients in 3 parts and mix it up really good. You can use a stand mixer for this, but a bowl and a hand mixer work just as good because the dough is not that thick. Off my beaters, and now we're gonna get a wooden spoon and we're gonna mix in, we're gonna mix in our chocolate chips. Scrape around the bottom good. Now I'm going to pour in a little more than 3/4 of the bag, but I'm going to save a few chocolate chips to stick on top at the end. You don't have to do this, and what I'm going to do is actually, while I'm baking them, I'm gonna mush them down with a fork so it looks almost like we have crushed up chocolate in there instead of just chocolate chips. But it makes them really, really flat and pretty cookies. Clean off my spoon. And now we're gonna pop this dough in the refrigerator for about an hour. Or in the freezer for probably about 15 or 20 minutes. You don't have to do this, the cookies will still be really good if you don't. But I always like to put my cookie dough in the refrigerator because it helps give it a little structural integrity so that it doesn't just plop all over the place. And if you cook like me with Silpat liners, they don't do that anyway, but I still pop it in the fridge. So I'll pop it in the fridge for a few minutes and come back and we'll roll them out and get ready to cook these. All right, y'all, we've got our dough out of the fridge, so it's ready. I have my medium cookie scoop ready to go because I'm gonna make some fairly big cookies. Got my oven preheated to 360. I've got my 2 air-baked cookie pans with my Silpat liners, and I've got my baking set up in the back. So I've got my 2 cooling racks and my spatula. So I'm gonna tell you my process for doing cookies. I love to bake cookies. If you don't have air-baked pans, they're a little bit pricey. You can get them on Amazon though, not sponsored. But I do love my air-baked pans. It makes it really hard to burn a cookie. I think I've said this multiple times. I bake cakes in air-baked pans and cookies. And what it is just 2 pieces of aluminum and there's space in the middle so the heat goes up, fills up that chamber, and it bakes them so it keeps your bottom of your cookies from getting burnt. And I also bake with Silpat liners. So when I bake cookies, I put them on the air-baked sheet with a Silpat liner. And what it does is it keeps the cookies really fluffy and soft. I have 2 set up. You don't have to have 2, but I just like to have 2 so I can go ahead and pop one in the oven while that one's cooling, get this one ready, pop it in. By the time that one's cooled, you can pull the other one out, and it's just a big process, and it just makes it go by faster. I also keep 2 cooling racks up in the background, blah, 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 blah. I keep 2 cooling racks on my stove in the back, and I'll put one of these cookie sheets on one cooling rack when it gets done. By the time I get the other one ready and baked, those are ready to come off and go on the cooling rack by themselves. So I'll pull the cookies off, put them on the cooling rack. Since it's silicone liners, you don't have to wash them down in between. Bring that one back over here, load it up with some more cookies. By the time the other ones are ready to go on the rack, those are cooled off and ready to go in your container. So it's a really fast process. And if you like to bake a lot of cookies, I recommend that, but you can do what you want to do. So what I'm gonna do is make some pretty big cookies here. If you don't have one of these I don't even know what it is, cookie scoops, then you can use like 1/4 of a cup. That's about how big these cookies are. And I roll them into tall, oblong, like almost like eggs. So I roll mine into eggs, put them on there. And to me, as it bakes down slower, so your cookies aren't flat and hard. Now, when you roll your cookies like this, you're gonna get them like a little crunchy brown edge, but the middle's gonna be really soft, which is how I like my cookies. You can roll them flat out if you want to, but this is how I do mine. And as I set the oven up, I will go in and about halfway through, so I cook these cookies since they're so big, it takes about 10 minutes. At about 5-minute mark, I'll go in and take a fork or a spoon and just kind of press it down. You don't have to do that, it'll eventually bake down, but for me it bakes quicker and it bakes more even doing it that way. But now since I am making big cookies, and I am making them tall, you cannot fit a lot on your thing. So if you want little cookies, you'll have to do different. This makes about, I wanna say, let me see. This makes about 18 cookies. The way I did it, as big as I'm doing it, it's gonna make about 18 cookies. And I set them up like this. Sometimes they do smush into each other. If you want perfectly beautiful cookies without the smushing, then put less on the thing, obviously. But I'm going to finish rolling these, pop them in the oven for about 10 minutes, and I only cook 1 sheet at a time. Feel free to cook more than that, but I just want to make sure I don't burn my cookies to death. But I will be back after I finish all these to see y'all and show you the final cookie. And these are really good. My husband loves like mint chocolate chip ice cream and stuff, and these things taste so good. All right, y'all, ta-da! But these are our St. Patty's Day mint chocolate chip cookies, and of course you can eat them still warm, put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on them, and they are so good. So I hope you guys try these. Let me know if you do and you like them, or what other kind of cookie recipes you try. I'm gonna try to throw a bunch of cookie recipes coming up because I love to make cookies. And I hope y'all are having a great week and a great St. Patty's Day, and I hope you smile and be happy. And if nobody's told you, you are beautiful, you are great, you are loved, and you are wonderful. See? Alright guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button because y'all know y'all want to. We put out videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And we will see y'all next time. Stay sweet, y'all.